Happy Friday, and thanks for tuning into RadioFreeRhinecliff.org. In this show in particular, correct me if I'm Norm, I'm your host, Norm, and I'm thrilled to be here tonight with Robert Kirwood. Hello, Robert.
Hello, thank you for having me, Norm.
Thanks for coming.
It's great to be here.
Yeah, lovely.
Thank you.
Now, do I detect a little Liverpool in that accent?
A little bit, yeah. It's my love for the Beatles, I suppose.
Is it really? Are you a huge Beatles fan?
Yeah, big time.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Well, I was going to say, for people who weren't here, what just happened in my life was the longest 4 minutes of my life, because Robert Kirwood, bartender extraordinaire, came in and, as is the tradition on the show, brought us a Friday afternoon cocktail libation and poured it, and it's been 4 minutes of waiting to drink. I can't wait to try this cocktail. Tell us about it, Robert.
Right.
First, cheers.
Cheers, yes.
Thank you so much.
Right. So you guys are going to love this.
Cheers,
Jen. This is an old
Cheers.
classic. It's called The Last Word.
Oh,
Oh my
I didn't
god.
take a
it's so good.
So, yeah, kind of boozy. I wasn't sure. So, so it's gin, Luxardo, which is a maraschino liqueur, green chartreuse, and lime juice. And it's just equal parts of all. And it's really good. It's just tasty. It's I love these 4 ingredient drinks because they just, everything by themselves is very unique, and some might not like one or the other, but when you put them together, they make a delicious cocktail, as you can see.
This is ridiculously delicious.
Thank you.
And tell me again, it's Luxardo, it's green chartreuse,
Lime juice, and gin. Yep.
equal
And-
parts.
Equal parts, yep. And that's it. It's just easy to make. It's usually garnished with a lime and a cherry, but I kind of didn't do that today, so I didn't think you needed the garnish because we like to drink. So
I'm a sucker for a good garnish, though.
Yeah.
So where you've been a bartender all over town.
Yeah, pretty much.
Town being Rhinebeck, and where are you currently slinging beautiful drinks?
So currently I'm at the Rhinecellar.
Oh,
Yep,
sweet.
In the beautiful heart of Rhinebeck, in the basement of the old Rhinebeck hardware store. It's really amazing. We do we have a great cocktail program. Caleb, the drink master, I'll call him, is absolutely amazing. He came up, our signature drinks are just amazing. So this is one actually that's not on the menu, but we can make it. It's very simple. We do have one that's close to it. It was actually inspired by it, called the Paper Plane, which is bourbon based, Aperol, Nonino Amaro, and lemon juice. And so we have that, and that's great. And it's kind of similar in a sense, but it's one of those 4-part drinks, equal parts, that is the same thing. By themselves, they kind of might put people off, but together they make a great drink. So that's...
Wow. So you said it was inspired by this, but it sounds completely different.
It is, yeah. But I think the thing is the guy... the Paper Plane originated, I believe, in 1998 in San Francisco. And the bartender wanted to come up with his own last word, because the last word is a drink. It's been around, it's one of the pre-prohibition cocktails. It's really old. So he wanted to do his own and get his name out. So he came up with this. So it was different, but the similar thing is the 4 parts, equal parts.
Right.
So that's...
So you've been a bartender for 20 years, 30 years?
Oh my gosh. Since I can remember, probably, oh my God, I did the math. I think it's like maybe 35 years. Something.
Well,
Let me think about this. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to be 56 soon. So I've been doing it since I was like 17, 18. That's when I learned.
So going on 40 years.
Yeah. So.
And when did you first create your own mixed drink?
Probably when I was like 18 or 19. At the end of the night, a lot of us would hang out and we'd make shots. So, and basically it started out with shots. So we just try and take different things and create whatever, some turned out all right. Some were really bad. I had one that a bartender and I came up with. Oh my gosh, now I have to think of the name. It was something dirty, because that's what we did. But it was kind of disgusting now that I think about it. But I had like Grand Marnier, Malibu, pineapple, cranberry. I wish I could remember the name, but oh, this is awful. But it was really kind of really sweet and gross, and I remember a lot of bad hangovers. But it tasted like those little licorice candies the orange white licorice candies. So it kind of tasted like that. So that was the great thing about it.
And you said a lot of bad hangovers. Why would this give you worse hangovers than just, say, straight vodka?
I think the sugar. Yeah. So it has. I mean, between the Malibu and Grand Marnier, both very sweet. And so that, and then also pineapple juice, cranberry. Well, cranberry not so bad,
Right.
but yeah.
It sounds like a drink a 17-year-old would like.
Yes.
And-
and it was, yeah. I loved it. Yeah.
And when you're bartending, what is the drinking age here? It's 21?
21.
Still. When you're bartending, do you see a lot of difference in what the different ages order?
Oh, that's a good question. I do, but I think a lot of people are curious about cocktails now. So, you could have an older woman ordering an old-fashioned and a really young woman ordering an old-fashioned, which is bourbon. It's bourbon-based with a few other things, a little sweetener and, oh my God, Angostura bitters, some other stuff. Well, very simple. It's a simple, clean drink. Let me think about it, because it's a good question, but I guess I feel that, I guess most older people will go for something like wine, something simple, but in our place, they will be creative and try something, off the cuff. We have a drink called Burning Couches, which is, it's whiskey based, and we make creme de coco and what else? A chocolate syrup that we make that I can't tell you about because it's a secret. And we garnish it with chocolate graham cracker rim and a burning marshmallow. So it's a dessert drink, but it has the bourbon, which gives it the kick. But it's really delicious.
And it's called Burning Couches?
Yeah, it's really great.
Sounds amazing.
It is. It's absolutely.
Let me ask, what does that go for?
That goes for, I believe we're doing 18 on that, 17 or 18. Yeah,
Okay.
after all is said and done. Yeah.
Right. Which, is a complicated cocktail. It sounds
Yeah.
sadly reasonable for these days and in this place.
Yeah.
I went to a place locally. I got a mezcal margarita. My bill came $25. I'm like, what the fuck? It was just insane.
And just a basic margarita?
Mezcal margarita.
Yeah, even so, was it a higher end mezcal? Or
No,
not
it
even?
wasn't asked. I said, and I'm sure I said, and if I had been asked, I said, whatever mezcal you like.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was really nuts. And honestly, I was like, I'm not going back there.
Yep. I think that might be why so many people have stopped drinking, because it's become so expensive.
Yeah.
Either that or alcoholism, but I don't know.
Yeah, everybody's on the wagon.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. When the pandemic hit, one of the things that everybody talked about was like liquor sales going through the roof.
Yep.
And you were bartending somewhere, I'm guessing, at that point.
At that time, I was at Gigi's, and because of the pandemic, I had to stop. But I was also at the Colony. I, split my time between the two. And the Colony opened up sooner.
The music club in Woodstock?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, great music venue if you ever have the chance to see a show. And, so we were doing it, basically we had the bar, we would use the bar, but everyone was outside, so we'd have to deliver the drinks. And that was how we got by, all the problems with, with the pandemic.
Right.
So, yeah. I'm sorry.
So that's good. And that must have been a tough time for bars everywhere.
Yeah, I think so. And, but the state, I'm not sure if it was the state or if it was federal, but they allowed to go liquor, cocktails really. So, there was a period, and I think it ended, but it was actually a lot of people that I know that had restaurants did really well because of that. And Gigi's did well because of the sake margaritas. They were able to sell those, and just do them in quart containers. So, I think a lot of people became, fans of alcohol if they weren't before, we'll say.
Nice. This is a good time to do that. Now, the sake margarita, was, down here at the Chinese restaurant in Rhinecliff. How did it move up to Gigi?
That is I think because of Bruce. Yeah, because Bruce was the original owner, along with Pam, at China Rose. And so I think he might have given them the machine and the recipe. So I think that's how that happened.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I wonder if he sold that. And all of a sudden, I'm like, what's the value of a popular drink recipe?
Oh yeah, I know. Well, that I don't know. I haven't made one of those yet.
And and do they still serve it?
Yeah, they still do. Yeah, right.
It's
I
fine.
haven't been there in a while, but yeah.
I loved getting that at the China Rose.
Yeah.
It was such a good drink. You say you haven't made one of those yet, but you've made a bunch of yummy drink recipes.
Yeah.
I remember, mostly I remember getting yummy drinks from you at the local.
Yep. And actually, and that was great. I learned a lot there. And basically, Wes is very creative. So he would have something, either fruit or whatever it was, or an idea for something. And then he'd be like, I want to do this, so go ahead. And so I'd have to think of the way that I was going to do it. So, and it was a little bar, and, so I'd figure it out. And then, we'd talk about, different recipes, whatever, and we'd come up with, great things. So it was a really great creative environment for me.
Right. And to create a partnership with this person named Wes,
Yep.
who was...
Wes Dyer, the owner's chef.
Okay.
Local like me,
Is that typically how it goes? The bartender will work with the owner and the head chef to come up with specialty cocktails for that place?
Not always. You're lucky. Well, I don't. It's a good thing because he was very involved with his place, and not every owner is as involved as he was, or actually Jen, who I work for now, is. And so it's really nice when people are that involved, because if you have like the absent owner, you can kind of do whatever you want, but and it's up to you. So you have to do a good job. It's still ultimately I'm the one making it, so I want to make a nice drink. So it's also the bartender's pride, but I would say it's nicer to have the support of the owner and the chef. Especially, and the creative aspect from the chef. Little things of that you might not know how to do, they'll know a way to do it, that you might not think of, so it's nice.
Right.
It's very collaborative. It's very great.
Yeah, and you clearly enjoy it.
Yeah.
But, I remember, and I guess this is probably when I first met you at the local, would order a drink and you'd be friendly and take the order, and then all of a sudden, deadly serious. You're fucking laser focused, and you seemed to have like a whole collection of like bespoke simple syrups, like of various flavors, and a whole bunch of like bitters of various like flavors and tinctures and stuff. Did you bring those things? Were those yours, or would those belong to the restaurant?
Though I made them, but those were Wes. Those.
Okay.
He wanted to do. We had a grape juice, grape syrup that we would add to club soda. So it would become a grape soda, which was really delicious. That was really popular. And then instead of having, because we didn't have a soda gun, which most places do, so we had a lemon lime for Sprite, or 7-Up. Did a ginger one for ginger ale. So basically, I would have the ginger, these syrups, and then I just add club soda, and it would, and then you'd have a great beverage.
So instead of soda gun, you're just opening big things of club soda or seltzer all night long.
Yep, pretty much.
And would you use club soda or seltzer or both? And
really club soda. Yeah, I always. The thing with seltzer and club soda, there is a difference. One is higher in sodium, but the thing, a lot of people, some people would actually turn away from it, and then, but we had Saratoga sparkling, so we'd use that. But otherwise, we would use, I think it was Canada Dry club soda. For people with low blood pressure, it doesn't really matter, but high blood pressure people, I think, tend to want to have, I believe, seltzer, because it is, right, and it's naturally carbonated, I think is the thing. So, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think some of them are, and others, like, probably just they shoot them full of bubbles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I always buy seltzer. I never think about it.
Yeah.
Huh. So back to you never having created a hit cocktail.
All right. Well,
certainly you been at places where a cocktail gets some traction. People come in there like, oh, I want that.
Yeah.
And that must be kind of satisfying.
It is. It's actually really nice. You feel, especially if you don't think it was as good as it's sold, and that's it. Basically, if it sells well, then it's good. But then I've also had, not to cut you off, but people, a drink that I thought was absolutely amazing. We all loved it, and then it doesn't sell, which, so it could go either way. Because for some reason, maybe the person just might think it would be odd, and they didn't want to take the adventure into a unique cocktail.
Right. And what are some of the unique cocktails you've created that, against all odds, did not become bestsellers?
Oh wow, that's a tough one. There's so many that I've made, and I can't think of it. I had one, and it had it was Saint Elizabeth allspice dram, and it's very allspice, the spice. So
Yeah.
it was basically, that was the base, and it was a liquor, and it was kind of a lower proof, but I liked it, and so I made a cocktail with that bourbon. And it tasted really unique, and a couple of people really loved it, and they drank, like, one person would drink like 5 of them, but then it was on the special board, but it didn't really sell, so we had it for about a week and then got rid of it because they didn't really care for it, and I mean, what else? Had lemon juice, but it's just one of those things. I guess it's promotion is so important nowadays, and that's it. If you sell it in the right way, I think you can sell it. You could sell a glass of water and make people think. Actually, I don't know if you ever remember Dan Bleen from Le Petit Bistro. He owned it at one time, and he was one of the main waiters years ago. And it was absolutely incredible. But he was the kind of guy that could sell a glass of water, and you would think it was the finest bourbon, finest wine you've ever had. He was just so smooth. It was just really great. So yeah, promotion.
And how do you do that? And is that something you learned at some point, how to sort of like sell the cocktails?
I sort of. I mean, I guess for me it also depends how busy I am, because sometimes, well, when it's really busy, my best drink to make is the vodka soda because it's quick. So that's my joke. I'm like, oh, you have to try my vodka soda. It's absolutely amazing. So it all depends how busy you are, because if you have a lot of people and you're making these intricate drinks, it kind of slows you down, and
Right.
a lot of people are very upset. So
Because it takes them too long to get their cocktail.
and and some people will wait. The people that order it are usually all right with it after for the first one, and then as time goes on, I think they they're like, just give me the drink, just give me the booze, that's it. So
Give me the booze.
Yeah.
So after a couple of drinks, they're like, just put the gin in a cup and send it my way.
exactly.
Which brings up an interesting question. How do you deal with cutting people off?
Excuse me, hold on.
Yeah, I'm
Piece of
cutting
ice.
you off right
Yeah.
now, mister.
That's it. I'm done. It's well, you can either be very forward about it. It depends how drunk they are too. But usually, you'll put a glass of water in front of them, and that kind of gives a sign. Be like, here, you might want this, and so you have to kind of be subtle and not make a big scene about it, because a lot of if you're cool to them and you're like, hey, I'm on your side, it'll actually work. You can get them, and you just have to make them think that. Well, I don't want to say think, but you have to be compassionate somewhat, I guess is the way to say it.
Right.
So, and the thing is, you want everyone to get home safely. So that's the main goal. So if somebody is that drunk, you're like, hey man, let me take care of you. Let me, get you home.
Call you an Uber or something.
Yeah.
And do you do that very often?
Sometimes, yeah. And actually, usually Jen takes care of that. Oh, am I? All right.
Right.
So
Jen, who is the owner or manager or
owner. Yeah.
owner of Rhinecellar,
Yep.
which is a fabulous place. It's really nice. And I'm so happy to see a place there that seems like it has staying power.
Yeah.
Because places have come and gone from that space a lot.
Yeah, I think it's nice, and it's it's a really great cocktail bar. She did a great job with the atmosphere. It's very very nice, and it's it's a cool basement. So many people have come in there. There's been, I think, about maybe 4 or 5 different people. She's the 5th person, I believe, and every time somebody makes it a little better, and I think she did a nice job. So it's great, actually. It's and then we have great events.
He said, consulting his notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, read
I'm gonna get this right.
them off. Let's hear.
All right, so the first Friday of every month, we have a new artist. We have their artwork up, so that always happens at the first Friday.
And that's today, Friday. coincidentally your
Yep.
birthday.
My birthday, yes, thank you. Yes, it's great to be here for my birthday. This is, there was supposed to be a big party for me.
Dream
But don't
come
worry
true,
about
yeah. and whose art is on the wall?
Actually, just various artists. Sometimes, well, local, really. We've had all kinds of people. I mean, ranging from actually newer locals to people that have been here for years. They can come from all over. They don't necessarily have to be from Rhinebeck.
Right.
Are you looking for specific names?
Well,
Right.
I've seen Leslie Hill's shows there a couple of times.
Yeah. So Leslie, do you know Jeff Boyle?
Yeah, I saw Jeff Boyle's collab.
Yeah,
Handsome Jeff, the Grumpus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Handsome Jeff. Wow. I've never heard that one. Man, what do they call me? Jeez.
Yeah.
I'll be all right.
Handsome Rob.
Yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
Norm. I appreciate that. You're handsome, Norm, too. So.
Yeah, thanks.
And
Sure.
beautiful Jen over here. Thank you.
Yeah, gorgeous Jen, we call her.
Oh, gorgeous. Yeah, sorry. I
Yeah.
didn't mean to undercut you on that. but-
Yeah, you sort of under adjectived
Yeah.
her.
Wait, is this FCC followed? Because I'm trying to keep it clean. 'Cause there's
FCC
some other
doesn't,
names
but-
we have for. Oh, really? Oh, great.
Yeah, but Homeland Security does follow this very closely.
All right.
Uh,
I do have my green card.
Todd, I've seen Todd German's work there.
Yeah, and actually, I believe the two of them have gotten together. They're going to be showing their works today.
It's Todd and Handsome Jeff.
Yep.
Oh, sweet.
Todd and Handsome Jeff. Yep.
Love that.
Yeah, and we actually have a couple of each of theirs on our walls.
Like permanently.
Yeah, permanently. Yeah.
So you have sort of a permanent collection.
Yep.
I love that.
Yeah, and actually, some of the stuff, if she likes it, she'll throw it up on her collection, which is on the other wall, and then we have the main wall for the show.
Which is a great wall. And I heard you got rid of the pool table.
Yes.
The
Yes.
fuck.
Hey man, hey. No, it's. All right, I'm a pool player. I love pool, but it's. We needed the space, and it just always brings a lot of problems. You have a lot of people arguing over the game, the noise. We have neighbors upstairs, so they would kind of be upset about the noise, and so without the pool table, we don't really have that. And so it's. I could go on. There's so many things. It's just. We're not a pool hall, so I think pool tables are better in a pool hall or like a really divey bar. And that's the other thing. She's trying to kind of upscale it a little and make it a little nicer, a little
Right.
quieter. So actually, it's been working.
And you said that there was somebody there, sort of like the drink master, or I forget what moniker you laid on this guy.
Oh yeah, Caleb. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I forget his last name right now.
It'll come to you.
Yeah, I'm so nervous.
Yeah. It's Jen. She does it to
Yeah,
me
she
too.
does. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's giving me a dirty look.
Yeah. That's actually her happy look.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have known that. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
Oh,
not
man.
yours.
Yeah.
Well, it's very intimidating. Thank you very much. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's. Wait, let me see if I can.
Oh, that no needs. But what is his role? This guy,
so
Caleb.
he's the beverage director.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to say head bartender. But basically, the signature cocktails are all his. And he pretty much his recipes. I kind of retired my recipes, and I'm doing his. So
Okay.
So that was kind of a something I had to adapt to because I'm so used to just doing it by my memory and the way I like it, and then but he makes his recipes are good, so it's not really a problem. If I was doing terrible ones, he uses good ingredients too, and that's the most important thing. Fresh lime juice, fresh lemon.
Freshly crushed graham crackers for the
Yes.
garnish of that thing.
Yep. To order. All right, that's not true.
Right.
Yeah.
And you said you made your own chocolate syrup of some sort?
Yeah, it's a mix. He uses, I can't say what liquor, but I know there's like liquor, and it's like a Swiss chocolate, like dark chocolate. And I know there's a couple of other ingredients in there, but it's just really very unique, very delicious. But these are all his things. And then also our pickle brine is his recipe. So our pickles, we have a drink called, we call it the pickle drink now because that's what the customers called it. So it has a pickle in it, pickle juice. It's basically a margarita with pickle juice, and it's absolutely delicious.
Oh, that sounds so
Yeah.
horrible.
Oh my gosh, no!
Who
It's
came
amazing.
up with that crappy idea?
Actually, he did. Oh my god, we sell so many. It's absolutely delicious.
Well, I hope he's listening. Hey, Caleb, come down here. Let's fight. Pickle juice.
Well, he's working right now. So
Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, I don't like that stuff. I don't like it like a dirty martini, for example.
Yeah. Oh,
which
wow.
has like what extra olive juice or something. in it.
Yeah. Wow, that's not your thing. You just don't. At
No,
all?
no. In fact, one of my orders is a martini, extra wet, extra cold, olives on the side, because I don't want anything getting in the way of like a perfect martini.
Yep. And that's justifiable.
And I wanted to ask you. In fact, I got a whole quiz for you.
Uh-oh.
You ready for it?
no.
That was as good a time as any to go to the lightning round.
All right.
And I have a quiz because one of your friends said that you were on his trivia team.
Oh no! All right.
Yeah, that's Todd.
Yep. All right.
And you're on a trivia team for trivia night at the Krog.
Yep. Every
which is-
Tuesday.
every Tuesday, which you want to give them a plug too.
Yep.
Everybody gets a plug. And I thought, oh, great, I'm going to do a lightning round. You ready? It's all, there's a baker's dozen of questions. What is the most popular spirit in the world?
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Also, there's 13 questions. If you get all of them correct, in 13 seconds, you win $10 million.
Oh. All right. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll try. Somehow
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to get any of
I'll
them. But
write the check myself.
oh man, gosh. I mean, I want to say bourbon, but I mean, I feel like it's vodka. I think
That
everyone
is
thinks
correct. Vodka.
right?
What's the most popular spirit in the U.S.?
Vodka, right?
Bourbon.
Still? Bourbon? Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Okay. Well, there you
And
go.
is
All
there an official spirit of the United States of America? I know.
Not that I know of,
I
but I
was
would
shocked to find this out.
Yeah, it would be whiskey, though, right?
It's
I mean,
bourbon. Yeah,
All
the
right,
official
wow.
spirit. This is not really a question. All right, here's a good one. What is sinosilicophobia?
Oh, I have no idea.
Sinosilicophobia. Silica being what they make glass out of. It just dawns on me. Phobia, fear. Fear of an empty glass.
Oh, wow. Oh, don't say that. Yeah, that's.
Sinosilicophobia. Fear of an empty glass. You can have these notes.
Oh my gosh, I have that. I was wondering. Thank
No.
you for diagnosing me. Now I
Yeah.
know. Oh,
yeah.
man.
Well, you're good at not letting people's glasses be empty.
Thank
All right, according to Stortberg Flexner's book, Listening to America, milkshakes originally contained alcohol. They were introduced in 1885 as an alcoholic whiskey drink. Where can a fellow go around here to get an alcoholic milkshake?
Wow, that's a good question. Well, I would say there's a place right next to Krog, and I forget the name, but they make great shakes. I think it's owned by the same people.
That's
my
not where
gosh.
we're looking for the Dell's.
Oh, Dell.
Dell's
that's
makes
right,
milkshakes
yeah.
with booze in them.
Yep.
I tried one once. It was pretty good. I wouldn't mind trying all
Right.
of them.
Oh, man.
I just haven't gotten around to it. Here's a tough one. How many grapes does it take to make one bottle of red wine?
Oh man.
I know.
Wow, and there's a number. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, is it in the? It's got to be in the hundreds, right? Or
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say I'm going to go 600.
That is absolutely correct.
Thank you. Thank you.
600 grapes. This one,
Thanks for giving me the answer.
keep thinking about hundreds. Approximately how many bubbles are there in one bottle of champagne?
Oh man, that I would say thousands, if not millions.
Yeah.
Yep.
49 million.
Wow.
I don't know how they figure that out.
Man.
Somebody's sitting there counting.
Yeah.
What goes into a Sazerac cocktail?
Oh, okay. So that's whiskey. Well, it's bourbon based. Oh my gosh. Hang on a second. And cognac. Oh God, I haven't made one of these in a while. I could be wrong about that. Wait. Bitters, Peychaud bitters. Angostura bitters, Peychaud bitters. A rinse of absinthe. And I believe that's it. I might have one or two of those things wrong. And I might have gotten it mixed up with another one. Actually, no, it's. Let me go again. All right, it's whiskey. Definitely rye whiskey. It is the bitters. It is... two bitters. The Peychaud bitters is the main one because that gives it the flavor. It's mostly that. And you can do a little Angostura bitters, but you don't have to. Stir it up nicely. Throw absinthe in the glass. Swish it around, dump it, and then pour the cocktail in.
Yeah, that is correct.
Nice.
Some people put simple syrup in there too. What is your personal favorite cocktail ever?
Man, it's so hard. Well, I would say the one that we made here is probably one of my... Like this, I could probably drink at any time.
Wrong.
last
Sorry, it's actually Brandy Alexander.
Oh.
I'm
Thank you.
I'm kidding. No, and
Wait, Norm, I'm getting really old and I forget these things,
yeah,
so thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And what is this cocktail that you brought again? It's so dang delicious.
Oh, last word.
It's really so very good. What is the USA's favorite cocktail?
I would say margarita.
It is.
All right. Nice.
I don't know why I was surprised to read that. Last but not least, oh wait, there's one more after this. What is your favorite go-to toast?
Like the whole
Like a toast.
Oh
like,
yeah. Oh my
like
gosh.
through the lips and to the liver, come on liquor, make me quiver.
Gosh.
For example.
There's so many. That's a nice one.
Yeah,
That's
thanks.
Well, all right. This is one that just pops into my head. I remember this guy Herc. If you ever heard the stories of Herc, but he used to say this one: "Here's to you, here's to me, and ever we disagree, fuck you, and here's to me." So I guess it's
Nice.
not. I mean, it's not friendly, but it was. It always gets a laugh.
I have heard of Herc. Is he an old-time Rhinebecker?
Yeah, he was a Vietnam vet. He passed away a number of years ago from cancer, but he was kind of one of those guys you love to see him in the afternoon because he was the nicest, sweetest guy. He would, if you had a flat tire, he would help you fix it. Just really nice, great conversation, really nice guy. But then, if you saw him about 11, 12 at night, you usually had to stop him from getting into a fight with somebody, or or having somebody wanting to beat him up. So that's kind of But he was a really nice guy, though. And the funny thing is, you would kick him out the night before. I'd see him in the afternoon. He's like, "Hey, Rob, what's going on?" And meanwhile, I'm still angry about the night before for whatever happened. And he's like, "Oh, I was bad again, wasn't I?" And I'm like, "Yep."
He could read it on your face.
Yeah, he could read. Yeah.
And where
then,
were you kicking him out of?
Actually, it was the Star Bar or Rhinebeck Grill. It's been a number of things, but back when Frank Spiegel had it.
Okay.
Yeah, back in the day.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how pissed off are you that they took out that beautiful bar, that beautiful oak bar from the Star Bar there to put in whatever's there now?
Yeah.
It was a gorgeous bar.
Yeah, that was old. I mean, and part of that was from down in the basement. Wait, the one that Frank had or the one that Larry had? Well, actually, they were both the same, actually. I actually know it was interesting. Frank had his bar, and then there was one in the basement. And then when Larry took over, he used. Let me think about this. Oh no, well he built his bar, and that was nice. That was the straight one, the nice old oak bar. That was actually that upsets me. But to make it better, Sergia, very crafty. He took part of that bar, part of Frank's bar, and cut them to fit. And then he actually also used. The back bar of Frank's Star Bar was actually one of the original bookcases from the Star Library, because that was where the Star Library originally was.
Oh my God, I
Star
did not
Institute.
know that.
Yeah, that's so me neither. I found that out, I think, when I was there.
Now, you say Sergio, that's River and Post?
Yep, exactly, yep. Sergio, and so he basically did all the work, cut it up and made that back bar and the front bar for when it was Liberty.
Right.
So he so it was kind of a Frankenstein of bars at that point.
Right.
For him. So
nonetheless, it was gorgeous. Now, you said that bar came up from the basement. What was in the basement?
So Frank made it. I mean, it was basically a place for music. It was and it was kind of a little divey. Like when he had it, it was a basement, and you knew it was a basement. And I got to say, I got to give Sergio credit because he made it look really beautiful. It was very. Very comforting or comfortable. It was right. I don't know. Liberty. Okay. She's not here, right? Okay.
I only remember when it was divey.
Okay. All right. So, well, I guess yeah. And no, but he did it. They really decorated it nice and made it look like a really cool, cool bar. But before that, yeah, Frank, it was like people would come down. They're like, oh, the basement, And we did have pool down there, which a lot of fights happened. Music, yeah. So, wait, what was the question?
I don't know. This drink's really strong.
Yeah, I know.
But it makes me want to ask. I want to move a couple of doors down from that basement to another basement, the basement under Foster's, which is where I'm guessing you grew up.
Oh, yeah. That's actually this room kind of reminds me of it, except I didn't have lighting in that room, but and there was more stone.
It's a teeny tiny room down here.
Yeah.
But that things happened in that basement, right? I mean, there were parties down there and stuff.
Oh yeah,
It was,
lots. Yeah.
It was a lot bigger than this room.
Yep, it was. Yeah,
And-
I was just talking about the part my parents locked me in, but
Oh, the closet where
I
your
know.
folks locked you.
Yeah, yeah. I
While
don't know
they
if I'm
were
supposed to
having
talk about that.
Kentucky Derby parties and whatnot.
yeah, exactly.
And so let me ask about this. When I moved here, a friend of mine, Peter Cantine, who ran the Bear Cafe over there in Woodstock, said, "Oh, Foster's." He said, "I used to come there all the time." He said, Bob Kirwood was the most amazing host, and we would go over there for gambling in the basement and derby and poker and all this stuff.
Yeah, wow.
Do you remember that stuff as a kid?
You know, actually, when I was really young, we didn't go there. I mean, we went actually during fair week. We would go in, ask my father for money, go to the fair, come back when we ran out. You know, we'd eat, and that was pretty much it. Yeah, like that stuff. Yeah, when I hear things like that, I'm surprised because I don't remember that. Because I remember actually with him going over to a place in Kingston called Artie's Bar, and that's where they always had OTB playing on the TV,
Oh,
you know,
right.
the horse races. So that was his. And at that time, I didn't realize what was going on. You know, I was like, wow, they always have the horse races on. And but that was his
Right.
man. You know, the guy that owned it. That's where he made all his bets, and they would do that in the back room. I remember a couple of times going with him. And we played, my grandfather, there's a story, my grandfather took me to the track one time, and I picked like the first 3 races, and, he said to my grandmother, "I'm going to bet $100 on everything. I'm feeling really lucky. I'm not going to change my clothes, and, I'm just staying with this, and, I'm going to bet $100 on Robert's horses." So I picked the horses, and he got scared because they were all long shots, and so he bet $5. But he did win because I hit it. I hit the daily double. It was great. So from that, my father thought I was lucky. So,
Oh my God!
yeah. So we played a game, Liar's Poker. I don't know if you know it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So but the thing is, Liar's Poker. They were playing they were playing for $50. And there was about 5 guys. So my father was putting out the 50 for me, and and everyone else was playing. And so basically they played by what the actual serial numbers were. They didn't. Usually Liar's Poker, you lie and you build it up, and then you can kind of reel people in having them think you have these numbers when you really don't, and that's how you win. So we were just playing straight what was on the bill. So all my bills were lousy, so we lost. But I think if we were playing the real way, we would have had a better chance. So, yeah. But anyway, that was a fun time with him.
Right.
It's one of those memories that stays with you.
That's so fun. And you've got siblings.
Yep.
Do you share these kinds of memories with them about growing up with mom and dad?
Yeah, actually sometimes, yeah, and they tell me things. I mean, they remember things that I don't. Like, they would probably remember the old days of catching people gambling downstairs. But actually, I feel like that happened late night, because I remember actually.
Oh, I could have it completely wrong.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. This is because all right, my mother would come home usually around 11 or 12. And then my father, he would stay and hang out and, close up the bar eventually. And sometimes he would come home and make us, eggs. And I just remember he would make home fries. And he would put Worcestershire on them. He'd bring baked potatoes from work, cut them up, and then throw them in the pan. And Worcestershire, lots of butter. And they were always like crispy and just so delicious.
My
And,
mouth just started watering.
Yeah, they're great. So that was always great, and that was usually, he was having fun, so he was a little drunk, and he's like, "Hey kids, I'm gonna make you dinner," so.
And it's like 12 or 1 or something.
Yeah, wake us up, and that was,
Come
so that was
on,
fun.
it's eggs and hash browns. And you said your mom came home. Did she work at the restaurant as well?
Yeah. They both worked so hard. I mean, they were there all the time. We had actually 2 different women that were kind of nannies to us. I mean, they were an older women. One, Mrs. Cookingham, who is actually, she was famous for starting the Northern Duchess 5 and Dime, which was actually original, by the hospital. I don't know if it's there anymore. 5 and Dime. Yeah, I think it was 5 and Dime.
There's a
thrift store,
there.
Yeah, so that's
Okay.
it. That thrift store, it was started by her. I think her picture is probably still on there, on the wall. And anyway, but she started that in the basement of the Star Bar. And that's what was there, but like years before it was a bar. And then at one point it was, Easy Street, which was, a guy from the city came up. It was a bunch of brothers that owned the building. This is before Frank. Actually, Frank was one of the guys that owned the building. He had partners, and he eventually bought them out. But yeah, so she was in the basement. Where am I going with all this? Oh yeah, so Mrs. Cookingham, and then she was very old. She was like in her 70s at that time. So they hired a younger woman, Mrs. Appleby, who was about 65, and and it's they were both like amazing women. They were like grandmothers to us, you know, and they were but Mrs. Cookingham was very old, so it was hard for her to do the job. So then, you know, the young, you know, Philly comes in and takes over, and you know, so and she took care of us until I was probably from the time I was maybe 5 or 6 to I guess 13, 14, and then she lived on a number of years. I mean, she passed away. I think she was in her 90s, in her upper 90s.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And did you all live near the restaurant? I mean, I know there's an apartment upstairs or something.
We did in our later years. When my parents divorced, my mother sold our house, which was on the 4 lanes, you know, near Statsburg.
Okay.
And so we had, you know, there was buildings behind Foster's, which are still there. And so we lived. I lived in the downstairs one with my father, and my sisters lived upstairs. You know, there was kind of a loft apartment, which was kind of cool.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, and you know, and also they went to school, so they were, you know, and they were older, but they went to boarding school, so they were always away. It was just kind of a place for them, you know,
right,
to hang out with.
And you didn't? You went to school here?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice. So. And where was your elementary school?
So St. Christopher's in Red Hook. I went there. Actually, originally Linwood for kindergarten and nursery school, and then St. Christopher's until about 6th grade. Regina Chaley until 8th grade. I went to Coleman for a half a year, and then my mother moved up to the Adirondacks, and so that was public school.
And you moved up to the Adirondacks with her?
Yeah.
Okay. So you never went to Rhinebeck public schools?
Actually, before you cut me off, sorry.
Sorry.
I don't mean
it's the liquor talking.
Yeah, it's the booze. Yeah, me too. Yeah,
I get so belligerent.
I know, me too. And I always, whenever I drink, I start fights. So I'm so sorry.
Yeah, excellent.
All right, that's not true.
What's your reach? I got long arms.
I slap.
Yeah.
It's you know, and I'm not even good at it. I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover. It's awful, man.
It doesn't sound awful. It sounds like the best.
Actually,
best route.
Actually, it keeps me, I guess, safer. No, but I went to Rhinebeck. I started like 10th grade. You know, halfway through 10th grade, moved back down here to live with my father because I got myself into some trouble when I was younger. So came down and yeah.
Let's back up and talk about that trouble a bunch.
Oh well, we don't have to do that. No. Oh my God.
So you got in trouble and you came down here. I'm guessing your folks consulted with each other and said, you know, maybe it's time for him to come back there.
Yeah.
And now you're living with your dad in one of those buildings by Foster's.
Yeah. You know the brick one?
Yeah.
Yeah. It used to be a carriage house, really, years ago, a barn essentially, and then in. Oh my gosh, it had to be like 84, 85. My sister Mary, you know, she was going to school for interior design. She might have graduated at that point. And I feel like she was still working. She was working for a woman, I think Lynn Macaluso, I believe, who was an interior designer. And so my father was like, oh, well, do you want to design, you know, the basement? That room. So that was Mary's first kind of big job. And, you know, so her and my father talked and they figured out what they wanted. And, it was a really cool place. Like basically, you know, they had his bedroom in the back. I had a really cool room. It was basically all wood. God, I wish she was back here so she could tell you more because she'll get mad at me. But she did a really amazing job. It was really, you know, beautiful. So I don't know if you've ever been in that apartment.
I have not.
Yeah.
I'd love to see what that is. Because the building seems like it doesn't have a lot of windows.
No, it doesn't. No, actually, yeah. I mean, in the back it does for the bedrooms, so that was nice. And then there was basically from when it was, the barn. It has 4 higher ones, so you get light. You know, you'll get the morning light, but it's not direct. You know, and then there was a door, so there was light from the door. But
right,
yeah, but not too. You know, not as dark as you'd think.
And how did you get to school? You walk or ride your bike, or do you have a car?
Oh my gosh, I would walk 3 miles uphill.
Yeah.
In the snow.
You have
in the
that
summer.
air. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. In the summer though, that was awful.
Summer snow's the worst.
And global warming. No, just kidding. No, but no. Well, I mean, at that point, what did I do? Well, I would walk, or on the really cold days, my father or his girlfriend would drive me, and then I got my license, and that was like 10th grade, so I turned 16 somewhere around then, and then drove myself.
Right. And shortly after that, you started making cocktails.
Yep.
I love that. And did you have some idea around that point in time, like this wouldn't be a bad gig, being a bartender?
Yeah. Well, all right. I'll tell you a funny story. Know what it is. I don't know. Well, I like to entertain, and so I would make jokes in the kitchen with all my friends. I worked with guys in the kitchen. I started out there, like dishwashing, whatever. So I'd always do goofy stuff. We all would to get ourselves through the night, and we'd try and make each other laugh. But after a while, it's always the same faces. They got sick of me. I got sick of them. And, and basically my father was trying to teach me the business. So he put me out behind the bar because I liked to talk. And so I found myself, of course, working for him, though, you have to work, too. So it's like there's a time to talk and a time to work. So I learned that. And but it was great to see different faces, and entertain them and, make them laugh, and it was great to hear it from a customer rather than my best buddy who knew my whole shtick and,
Right.
So.
And so did you ever take your shtick to different venues and try to sort of your hand as a stand-up comedian?
I have done that, yes. I like amateur stuff. Some stuff around here back then. This was back basically like late 90s. And then I did do the famous Comedy Cellar. I did... I would go down
New York City.
Yeah, New York City. I did it. I did that about 7 times. I was called a bringer. Basically, they would do, it was, I don't want to say an open mic, but it was, amateur. It was an amateur thing that they would do before the real show. I believe it was Tuesdays. And, so if you brought 3 people, you could perform. And that, they'd give you, I think, 3 to 5 minutes. And if you brought more people, they'd give you a little more time. So
I love that.
Yeah. So the great thing was I had a friend that lived in Long Island. So she would, get her boyfriend and their friends to come and see me. So I'd always have like 10 people. And so the guy that was putting on the show loved me. So he's like, oh, you can go up, do as much as you want. And then, but it was really hard. Like it's very... like the bar is kind of my shower. The people that sing in their showers.
Yeah.
So that's what comedy is for me. When I behind a bar, I'm I'm comfortable, and I always have my drink to fall back on. I have my job that I have to do to get away from. If it's bad.
Was it like a protective buffer that made you more comfortable?
I think so, yeah. Having that piece of wood in front of you makes a difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then also, I mean, ultimately, I have a job to do. So if the joke didn't fly, I still had drinks to make. I had, checks to do. So I guess that's it.
Do you still tell jokes at the bar?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. I do
you have
things.
Do you have any handy?
Well, see, no, it's not. I have some lines. You know what I mean? So if... let me think about this now that I'm on the spot. They usually just come off.
I got some gags. Well, we'll keep talking. If they comes up, we'd love to hear it.
Well, actually, I'll tell you this though. Like, this was always hard because, like, being somebody that likes to joke around with people, you'd always get the one guy that would actually have all these jokes memorized, and he would ramble them off, and he would know, and half the time it was jokes that I knew but that I forgot like one element of it. And after a while, it's you hear them, but the guy would go on and on and on. So then you were stuck with this guy just telling jokes all night.
Oh, jeez.
Which gets kind of bad after a while. So actually, I think I scared myself away from that for that reason. So I try and forget the jokes. But I could do. Let me think of try and do something semi-clean. But
it doesn't have to be clean. It's internet radio.
Oh yeah. Fuck, man, I could say anything.
I'll tell you a filthy joke if you tell me one.
All right.
Yeah.
So actually, I'll tell you this one because this one I love. Like, I was working. It was an afternoon in Foster's, and this IBMer, back then IBM was bigger, and this guy would always come in and have lunch, and really nice guy. But he was the IBM, the epitome of IBM. Glasses, balding, very button-down shirt, and very very uptight. So he tells me this joke. So he says, all right, so this guy is having a cocktail party. And he says to dress up how you feel as a feeling. So first guy comes up, he's wearing all yellow. He goes, I'm scared, I'm a coward, I'm yellow. And he goes, all right, go in. Next guy, he's wearing green. And he goes, envy, I'm green with envy. And he goes, all right, I get that. Next guy wearing all blue. He's like, all right, blue. He's going, sadness. He goes, okay. So then the next guy comes up and he's totally naked and he has his penis in a custard pie. And so the guy's like, all right, I get the colors, but I don't get this. And he goes, I'm fucking disgusted. And the thing is, I did not expect that because the guy was your IBM. He was like very, very straight-laced.
Disgusted.
And he came out and said it exactly with a New York accent. I'm fucking disgusted. And I was just so amazed and impressed. And yeah, so that was great. So I always remembered it just for that, for his delivery.
Right. And do you have go-to jokes that you can call up at the bar?
Kind of. More so with interactions, like, let me think about it. So if somebody comes in, they sit down and...
What if like a rabbi, a priest, and a doctor come to the bar?
Oh, I don't serve them.
Yeah.
No, no, because there's always a fight. They're awful, And then there's always some child that. Anyway, I'll stop there.
A whole world of trouble.
Yeah, it is. So don't even serve them. They're bad people. Yeah. Gosh. Oh my God. Now say I do it all night, and then now like when I'm putting inside, but I'll give people menus and. Well, all right, one of my things when they leave, they'll say, all right, good night. We're going to go. And I'll be like, all right, I'll stay here. That's like one little one.
Like
but,
that.
oh, my gosh. Now now when I'm put on the spot, I can't even think of it. It just comes off like, when customers come in, I'll give them the menus, explain, this is this, menus, or, beer is there, this is cocktails.
Right.
Actually, all right, well, this is a thing, and I don't know, this is something that I have to be careful about because I can get myself into trouble. I'll tell you a couple of things where I've gotten myself in trouble. Well, actually, this one hasn't yet, but potentially.
Night's young.
But I think I do it, yeah. I think I do it just to see if I can get away with it. And, if somebody looks underage, I'll ask them for their ID, and I'll say, I don't think you're underage, it's just I'm a stalker and I need to know where you live. So it can go really bad, and luckily, there's a lot of people with a great sense of humor. So I've gotten by on that one. But another one, when older people come in, they sit down and I'll either make the joke, Madam, Miss, can I see your ID? And either that or I'll go on and be like, it's really nice that you're taking your daughter out to the guy. I'm like, I hope this is your daughter because otherwise that's really sick.
Right.
That's, and then, so one time I did it to the wrong person, and the guy's like, you don't know me. He wanted to beat me up. And I'm like, no, I was joking. Because they were older women, and they were obviously not, underage. And, so basically I kind of called him a pedophile, and he didn't like it. But, I tried to explain the rest of the day, and luckily he didn't kill me.
Was that guy Fat Tony Salerno?
No, it was. Oh God, no. Oh no. Luckily, I didn't have to. I have vague memories of him when I was a little kid, and
because he lived up around here.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he
lived
probably liked to gamble.
I don't know. I know he kept his business away from here.
Right.
So this was like basically where his retreat.
Gotcha.
So nothing bad happened. If any of his guys, he would come in to, to Foster's, and he'd always, spend a lot of money. Was always a gentleman. As my parents tell me, I was too young, but they always have nice things to say about him. And he was always a gentleman. And if anyone got out of line, he would, reprimand them. His people.
Right.
So that's it. This was like a no. What is this? No fly zone. We'll say. I guess,
right.
So.
That's good. Somebody keep people in line. And over the years, you must have had people try to pick fights with you. You must have had to try and keep some people in line.
Oh yeah. It's. I learned to be a good talker from that. You kind of have to talk yourself out of it because I'm really not a fighter. But actually, it's great getting older because with gray hair, it gives you some kind of clout. Like people, it's really actually amazing. I'm like, man, if I was this guy, it would have hit me. And and they, but they have like a respect for older people.
Oh God,
which is
a double-edged
nice.
sword.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, and but back in the day, it was a little scarier, and it was usually always friends too. So that made it, you're like, dude, what are you doing? But actually, all right, I'll bring up Herc. This is a great story. One time I had. Some guys causing a problem, and they're causing a problem with somebody else. So I'm like, you guys got to stop this. Everyone's outside, ready to fight. And so a guy that I had kicked out that was with Herc earlier, kicked, had to kick both of them out for being drunk, and it was dinner hour, and they were kind of obnoxious, and they were walking back from another bar, and the one guy that I kicked out, he was like, "Are you messing with my friend Bobby Kirwood? If you're messing with him, you got to mess with me." And all the guys were like, they were younger, and they were all like early 20s, so they're like, "No, no, no, no," and they took off. So I was really happy about that. That was
So in the past 5 years, the makeup of this town has changed a bunch.
Oh, yeah.
You've been a bartender through all of that. Are there more belligerent patrons now or then?
Man, that's I would say more then, but yeah, definitely more then. And also, I think people were more destructive back then too. I mean, my example though is for the Star Bar, and I remember he always had like plastic tables out front, and they weren't very nice. They're like the lawn ones, and a lot of people didn't like Frank for whatever reason because he kicked them out, or it was usually ridiculous reasons, and so they would actually break tables and things like that, and
Right.
and actually I'll say this also, he didn't. And this is partially my fault because I worked there, but it wasn't like we didn't keep it as clean as they did in later times. The town was different. Like my father always kept the place, Foster's, the yard pristine, the sidewalk, and then Frank. We would sweep, but it always, you always had stuff from the night before, coasters, whatever. It wasn't cleaned
Right.
that night. So eventually it got more efficient. And actually, I got to say, at one point. Liberty, they did a great job. They would spray it down every night, and it always looked beautiful, or every day before
I loved
service.
that place.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it was good. Well, guess what? We're running out of time. We got like a minute
Oh.
left. I
Oh.
know, it's going fast. And I see you holding that lined sheet of legal paper there. Are there notes you wanted to share with us? In this
Yes, I
last minute
do.
or so?
Smile, you're on. Oh, that's I'm not supposed to
yeah.
say. All right. Okay. So, all right. Well, basically, this is.
Could you do it in an accent?
Oh yeah.
please?
All right. So I'll do the Rhinecellar. What kind of accent do you want? Do you want radio voice?
Yeah, radio voice.
All right. So, and actually, wait. Can I just say before I get into that, Radio Free Rhinecliff, I love it. .org. I feel like it's like French Revolution. But anyway, okay. So here we go. All right. So. Every first Friday, it's Artist of the Month. I told you about that. Second Wednesday is Jazz with the Dan Palladino Trio, who are absolutely amazing. Third Tuesday, Open Mic Jam with our house band, the Cellar Mojo, and those guys are actually really killer. So that's that. And then all right, events.rhinecellar@gmail.com if you want to book an event. And those are all
sweet.
Yeah. And that's it. I think that's.
And how many events do you have there a month? It's a great place for events.
Yeah, we do. Well, so as I said, we do those two things. And then also on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, we either have a DJ or a band.
Oh, sweet.
And, yeah. So.
All right, one last trivia question for you,
Oh,
then
no.
I'll let you go. Number 13. Lucky 13. How many people die each year after being hit with a champagne cork?
Oh my gosh, is that really? Wait, yeah. There's got to be thing.
Evidently, the sub note
20.
on this is 24.
Really? Wow. All right.
Closest without going over,
Oh,
you
wow.
win the prize. Evidently, champagne cork leaves a bottle at over 55 miles an hour.
Wow. All right. That makes. I actually almost. I have a scar in one of my eyes from that on my cheek.
Egads.
Yeah, and it looks like a heart. It was from that.
Oh, that's
from
cute.
a cork.
That's for
working
you
on
being
that.
a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah, yeah.
You being Robert Kirwood, bartender extraordinaire. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for
Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Have a great Friday and a fabulous weekend. Rob, thanks again for being here. Way to treat.
Thanks for having me.
Take care.